The Switch and Switch 2 lineup for 2026 is absolutely stacked, from long-awaited RPGs to massive open-world ports. Whether you play handheld or on your TV, these are the games you need to keep on your radar right now. Wandering Sword has been a huge deal on PC since September 2023, sitting at 94% overwhelmingly positive on Steam, with over 31,000 reviews. Now it's finally making its way to Switch and Switch 2 in 2026. It's a wuxia pixel RPG set in ancient China, built with a unique style that blends classic 2D pixel art with Unreal Engine 4 3D environments. You play as a young swordsman who gets caught in a deadly conflict between two rival martial arts sects, nearly dies, and then sets out on a journey to master every fighting style he can find. The world is massive. The Central Plains, Jiangnan, the Western regions, and more, full of NPCs who live their own lives. Combat is turn-based, with heavy customization, and the story has 20 different endings depending on your choices. The Switch version will also include 2 major DLC packs that were previously PC only, plus newly recorded Japanese and Chinese voice acting. The Relic First Guardian looks like it could become one of the biggest surprises for action RPG fans. The game takes place in the ruined land of Arsiltis, a once thriving world that was devastated after the destruction of a powerful relic. You play as the last Guardian, setting out to recover scattered relic fragments and stop darkness from consuming everything that remains. While the setup sounds familiar, the gameplay is where things become interesting. Combat focuses on skill-based encounters with dodges, parries, weapon mastery, and aggressive attacks, rather than traditional leveling systems. Instead of simply gaining experience points, progression comes from equipment, crafting, relic powers, and build customization. The game also promises a large number of unique bosses, each tied to the world's history and lore. Exploration appears to be a major focus as well, encouraging players to uncover stories hidden throughout the environment. SacriFire is shaping up to be a very promising adventure. The story follows Ezekiel Ridden, a young priest in training who finds himself caught in events that threaten both his faith and the future of the world around him. Rather than focusing on a simple battle between good and evil, the game explores political conflict, religion, personal beliefs, and difficult choices. Gameplay combines traditional JRPG mechanics with real-time action elements, creating battles that require timing, positioning, and strategic decision-making. The developers have also placed a strong focus on character interactions, allowing the party members to grow naturally throughout the journey. One of the first things that stands out is the visual style, blending detailed pixel art with modern lighting and effects. Fans of classic titles from the PlayStation and Super Nintendo eras will immediately recognize the inspiration. Farming Camp. The game combines farming, crafting, exploration, and campsite management into one cozy package. You'll start with a small area and gradually transform it into a thriving destination by planting crops, gathering resources, raising animals, and improving facilities. Exploration plays a large role as well, encouraging players to venture beyond their camp to discover new locations, rare materials, and useful upgrades. Rather than pushing players through a strict structure, the game focuses on letting you create your own routine and progress at your own pace. The colorful art style and laid-back atmosphere make it look like a perfect fit for handheld play. Whether you want to spend time fishing, decorating your camp, harvesting crops, or simply enjoying the scenery, there always seems to be something relaxing to do. According to Nintendo listings, Farming Camp is currently scheduled to launch in September 2026 for Switch platforms. Castlevania fans have been waiting a very long time for a brand new entry, and Castlevania Belmont's Curse is one of the most talked about rumors and reports surrounding the future of the franchise. While official details remain limited at the moment, expectations are naturally high because of the series' legendary history. If the project follows the classic formula, players can expect a dark, gothic adventure filled with dangerous creatures, challenging platforming sections, powerful weapons, and memorable boss encounters. The Belmont family has always been at the center of the franchise, and many fans are hoping for a return to the traditional vampire hunting style that helped define Castlevania over the decades. Modern hardware could also allow larger environments, more detailed exploration systems, and smoother combat than ever before. Until Konami reveals additional information, much of the game's structure remains unknown, but excitement continues to build among longtime fans. High on Life 2. Set after the events of the first game, the adventure once again throws players into a bizarre galaxy where talking weapons are just as important as the person holding them. While the story is still being kept mostly under wraps, the sequel appears to introduce a new threat that will send players across a variety of colorful planets packed with secrets, side missions, and unusual characters. Gameplay expands on the original formula with new weapons, mobility options, and larger environments designed to reward exploration. Combat remains fast and energetic, encouraging players to combine weapon abilities, movement skills, and environmental interactions during battles. Beyond the action, the game continues to focus heavily on world building, filling every location with strange creatures, unexpected jokes, and plenty of details to discover. The sequel also appears to place greater emphasis on player freedom, offering more opportunities to explore areas at your own pace. The Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tales, looks like a game designed for players who enjoy classic fantasy adventures with modern presentation. The story follows Elliot, a young explorer who becomes involved in a journey that spans centuries of history, uncovering forgotten civilizations, ancient mysteries, and powerful forces hidden beneath the world. Rather than focusing entirely on combat, the game mixes exploration, puzzle solving, character progression, and story-driven discoveries. Players travel through a variety of environments, ranging from forests and deserts to ancient ruins and massive cities, each offering secrets that gradually reveal more about the world. Combat appears to combine action-oriented mechanics with RPG customization, allowing different approaches to encounters depending on your preferred playstyle. One of the most appealing aspects is the sense of adventure that runs through every trailer shown so far. Splatoon Raiders. Players take control of a new group of characters traveling to mysterious islands filled with strange phenomena, hidden technology, and dangerous enemies. The familiar ink mechanics remain central to gameplay, allowing players to move across environments, solve puzzles, reach hidden areas, and engage in combat using creative strategies. Early footage suggests that progression will involve upgrading equipment, unlocking new abilities, and uncovering the secrets behind the islands themselves. The world appears much larger than previous Splatoon campaigns, encouraging players to spend time exploring every corner rather than simply moving from one mission to the next. The colorful art style and energetic personality that made the series popular are still present, but the shift toward a more adventure-focused structure makes this project feel fresh. Splatoon Raiders is currently expected to arrive sometime during 2027 for Nintendo Switch 2. DecaPolice is one of the most intriguing RPGs coming from Level 5. The game follows Harvard Marks, a rookie detective working within a futuristic city where crimes can be investigated both in the real world and inside a massive virtual recreation of society known as DecaSim. This setup creates a fascinating mix of detective work, science fiction storytelling, and traditional role-playing gameplay. Players gather evidence, question suspects, explore crime scenes, and eventually confront criminals through turn-based battles. The investigation system is designed to make players feel involved in solving cases, rather than simply following story markers. As the mystery grows larger, what begins as a series of criminal investigations gradually develops into something that threatens the entire city. The game's stylish visual presentation, memorable character designs, and strong narrative focus make it stand out among upcoming RPGs. Star Fox finally makes its long-awaited return, and it looks like Nintendo is giving the legendary space shooter the comeback fans have been waiting for. Launching exclusively on Nintendo Switch 2 on June 25, 2026, this reimagining of the classic Star Fox 64 brings Fox McCloud and the Star Fox team back into action as they battle to protect the Lylat system from the forces of Andross. The game keeps the fast-paced, arcade-style gameplay the series is known for, putting players in the cockpit of the R-Wing for intense dogfights across space stations, enemy fleets, and planetary battlefields. Classic maneuvers like barrel rolls, boosts, brakes, and somersaults return, creating exciting encounters that reward quick reactions and smart flying. Alongside the upgraded visuals and cinematic presentation, players can experience branching mission paths that unlock different routes and outcomes depending on their performance. The Elder Scrolls IV: Oblivion Remastered takes players back to the province of Cyrodiil, a massive fantasy world where every town, guild, and wilderness path feels like part of a living world. The story begins with a threat that could destroy the entire empire, as portals to the deadly realm of Oblivion begin opening across the land. But as with most Elder Scrolls games, you're free to tackle the adventure however you want. You can become a knight, assassin, thief, mage, explorer, or simply wander the world looking for hidden quests and secrets. The remaster upgrades the visuals while refining gameplay systems and includes all major expansions, including Shivering Isles and Knights of the Nine. The biggest appeal remains the freedom. Every playthrough can unfold differently, depending on your choices, skills, and faction loyalties. Nintendo currently lists Oblivion Remastered for a 2026 release on Switch 2. Elden Ring is finally arriving on Nintendo hardware through Elden Ring Tarnished Edition. Set in the mysterious lands between, this massive action RPG throws players into a dark fantasy world filled with ruined kingdoms, powerful demigods, hidden dungeons, and unforgettable boss encounters. Exploration is at the heart of the experience. Instead of following a strict path, you're encouraged to venture in any direction, discovering new areas, secrets, equipment, and challenges at your own pace. Combat rewards patience and skill, allowing players to create unique character builds using countless weapons, spells, and abilities. Tarnished Edition includes the full base game, the Shadow of the Erdtree expansion, new armor sets, additional starting classes, and new customization options for Torrent. Whether you're exploring ancient castles or fighting enormous bosses, the sense of discovery remains incredible throughout the journey. Moonlighter 2, The Endless Vault. Once again, players step into the role of Will, a merchant who spends his days selling goods and his nights exploring dangerous locations filled with monsters and treasure. The sequel expands nearly every aspect of the original game. Exploration now features larger environments, more varied encounters, and deeper progression systems that encourage experimentation with different weapons and playstyles. Every expedition becomes a balancing act between risk and reward. The deeper you venture, the more valuable loot you can find, but surviving long enough to bring it back home becomes increasingly difficult. Back in town, you'll manage your store, set prices, upgrade facilities, and build relationships with the local community. This creates a satisfying gameplay loop where dungeon crawling directly supports your business and vice versa. The colorful art style and improved visuals give the world even more personality than before. Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave looks ready to continue that tradition. While Nintendo has not yet revealed every detail, early information points toward a new continent facing political conflict, shifting alliances, and a growing threat that could change the future of the world. Tactical battles remain the core of the experience, with players commanding units across grid-based battlefields where positioning, terrain, and team composition are often more important than raw strength. Outside of combat, players will spend time building relationships, recruiting allies, improving skills, and learning more about the world through character interactions. One of the reasons Fire Emblem remains so popular is that every decision feels meaningful, both on and off the battlefield. Whether you're carefully planning your next move or following the stories of your companions, the series always delivers a strong sense of progression. Granblue Fantasy Relink already delivered fast-paced action RPG combat, and Endless Ragnarok appears set to expand that experience even further. Set within the Sky Realm, the game follows a cast of adventurers traveling between floating islands while uncovering new threats and ancient mysteries. Combat remains one of the biggest attractions, blending real-time action, cooperative gameplay, and spectacular special abilities into battles that constantly feel exciting. Players can switch between different characters, each bringing unique weapons, skills, and combat styles to the party. Endless Ragnarok is expected to introduce additional regions, enemies, quests, and progression systems that build upon the foundation established by Relink. Exploration also appears to play a larger role, encouraging players to discover new islands and uncover stories tied to the world itself. Fans of anime-inspired RPGs should definitely keep this one on their radar. From the creators of Elden Ring and Dark Souls comes one of the most mysterious upcoming exclusives for Nintendo Switch 2. The Duskbloods is a brand new action game from Software that places players in a dark world where supernatural powers, ancient conflicts, and powerful factions collide. While many story details remain hidden, the game appears to focus on a group known as the Bloodsworn, warriors who possess extraordinary abilities tied to a mysterious force that shapes the world around them. Combat looks fast, aggressive, and highly skill-based, with players using a combination of melee weapons, special powers, and mobility options to overcome dangerous enemies. Unlike previous From Software titles, the Duskbloods also introduces multiplayer-focused systems that could create unique encounters between players during their adventures. Trails in the Sky Second Chapter is one of the most anticipated releases on the horizon. Continuing directly after the events of the first game, the story follows Estelle as she sets out on a journey filled with emotional moments, political intrigue, and discoveries that gradually reveal the true scope of the conflict affecting the continent. The Trails series has always been known for its world building, and this chapter expands nearly every aspect of the setting. Towns evolve over time, side characters receive meaningful development, and even small conversations can add important context to the larger story. Gameplay combines strategic turn-based combat with character customization through the Orbment system, allowing players to experiment with different abilities and party setups. The remade version also introduces updated visuals, voice work, quality of life improvements, and enhanced presentation, while preserving the charm that made the original game so beloved. Solarpunk offers something completely different by focusing on creativity, community, and sustainable living in a beautiful futuristic world. Set among floating islands powered by renewable energy, the game encourages players to build homes, grow food, craft tools, and develop their own self-sufficient settlements. Exploration plays a major role, with airships allowing players to travel between islands, gather resources, and discover new opportunities for expansion. Multiplayer elements let friends work together on large projects, turning the world into a collaborative experience rather than a competitive one. The relaxed pace makes it easy to enjoy activities such as farming, construction, automation, and customization without feeling pressured by strict objectives. Visually, the game stands out thanks to its bright colors, lush environments, and optimistic atmosphere. In a genre often focused on survival and danger, Solarpunk instead focuses on building a better future. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth continues Cloud's journey beyond Midgar, opening up a massive world filled with memorable locations, iconic characters, and countless adventures. The game combines action combat with strategic, command-based systems, creating battles that feel exciting while still rewarding thoughtful decision-making. Exploration has been greatly expanded compared to the previous entry, allowing players to travel across large regions packed with side quests, activities, hidden treasures, and powerful enemies. The story remains one of the biggest reasons to play, but even outside the main narrative, there is an incredible amount of content to discover. Character progression, party customization, mini-games, and world exploration all contribute to an experience that constantly rewards curiosity. Whether you're a longtime Final Fantasy fan or completely new to the series, Rebirth offers a huge adventure packed with unforgettable moments. Pokémon Winds and Waves, a game that has generated enormous excitement among Nintendo fans. Although official details remain limited, reports and speculation point toward a large-scale adventure built specifically for Nintendo Switch 2. Early information suggests a strong focus on exploration, with players traveling across vast coastal regions, islands, and open environments inspired by the relationship between land and sea. As with previous Pokémon games, players can expect to capture, train, and battle a wide variety of Pokémon while building a team capable of overcoming increasingly difficult challenges. Many fans are hoping for deeper world interaction, improved traversal systems, more dynamic ecosystems, and greater freedom when exploring the region. The franchise has steadily evolved over the years, and Winds and Waves has the opportunity to push that evolution even further on Nintendo's new hardware. Those are our top 20 upcoming games for Nintendo Switch and Switch 2. Let us know which game you're most excited for, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more Nintendo coverage.